How you doing? This is Black Shy Guy. Welcome to another new video, and as always, make sure you hit the like button if you really enjoyed the video, and if you're not a resident of Chi-Town yet, make sure you subscribe. And as always, sincerely, thank you for sitting at my table. In today's video, we will be discussing the fact that The Last of Us will be releasing on Sunday. Season 2 has finally got a review, and it's looking good. The reviews are looking astronomical. Obviously, you got your naysayers, but overall, and I'm talking about the majority, the reviews are looking amazing. And I'm going to say this about The Last of Us 2. I'm going to say this. The story has been highly controversial. Highly controversial. We all know what transpired in The Last of Us 2. We all know what made it controversial. The simple fact that the protagonist has been eliminated, everybody has a problem with that. But to me, the main problem with The Last of Us 2 when it came to the video game, because obviously in the show, Neil Druckmann did announce that he has changed a lot of things, and I'm assuming that he changed a lot of things to the better, because the problem to me with The Last of Us when it came to the video game, the highly critical acclaimed video game that has outsold many games and has been considered one of the best games on console, which is on the Sony PlayStation, is the fact that Abby was introduced in a way that I do not deem worthy. I really believe that they messed up the introduction to Abby. She has gotten so much hate, and to me, for no reason, for the simple fact that Joel's demise was at her hands. So the fact that Abby was introduced in such a horrific manner is what made The Last of Us 2 highly controversial. Listen, if Abby was introduced much better, if Abby was introduced in a way that gave the player enough time to sympathize with her situation and what transpired in her life, then it would have been better received from a lot of the people that adored The Last of Us Part 1. But the fact that she was introduced and thrown into the hands of the players in a manner that seemed unexplainable, for the simple fact that you gave control of the player of the very killer who killed their protagonist. So basically the player was like, I'm in control of the very person that killed my hero. I want to jump off the ledge with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? It was just so weird, because even me, who can sympathize with a lot of freaking decisions Naughty Dog made when it came to The Last of Us 2 video game, even that left me kind of freaking puzzled, because why would you give the player control of a character that caused the demise of one of the beloved characters that was introduced in the very first chapter of The Last of Us Part 1, and a character that everybody has fallen in love with? Despite the fact that Ellie is the main character, Joel has found a place in everybody's hearts who's followed the story. And that's why I do sympathize with people who hate The Last of Us 2 storyline. And hopefully in this show, all of that was fixed. Hopefully in this show, a lot of things was repaired. And it not only brings in the old fans, the show brings in the new fans. Fans that got introduced to The Last of Us because of the HBO Season 1 series. So those fans who did not hate the story right off the bat are really gonna basically voice their opinion as well. Because obviously those fans has fallen in love with Joe as well. And now that they're gonna be introduced to The Last of Us Season 2, and the storyline that everybody has been talking about, because despite the fact that you have not played the game, it is impossible to ignore the fact that Joel's demise is highly talked about throughout the internet. So for you to miss that part, you have to be living in the Batcave. You have to be living in the Batcave if you have not discovered that Joel's demise has happened in The Last of Us Part 2. So are you really going to enjoy the story? I believe you will. I believe you will. I believe your attachment to Joe is kind of less for the simple fact that you didn't play the entire game with Joe. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying watching the show is less than playing the game, but when it comes to sympathizing and feelings towards a particular protagonist, when you play a video game hours and hours on end with special cutscenes inserted in them, you kind of get a connection with the character that is unexplainable. And that's what happened to a lot of people who played The Last of Us Part 1 when it came to Joe. They gravitated to him. They sympathized with his situation. And despite the fact that everybody has fallen in love with Ellie, in the beginning, a lot of people found Ellie annoying. But then Ellie grew on them. And that's what happens when you're playing a video game. With the show, it's kind of the same thing, but not exactly. So people will easily fall into the story and easily accept the fact of Joe's demise because it's just easier to handle than people who played the video game. And that's my opinion about it. The reviews are out. Rolling Stones has reviewed it, Variety, The Verge, all of them have reviewed it, and most of them enjoyed the season. Unfortunately, the season is only 7 episodes. I don't know why it's only 7 episodes. I mean, it's such a grand story, so to fit all that story into one season is understandable. I knew for a fact that they would not finish the story in one season. Everybody knew that, but 7 episodes only? You're only giving us 7 episodes? What I would like I apologize. What I would like to know is, how long are the episodes? Are we getting an hour and a half on each episode at least? At least? I mean, can we at least get that? You cannot tell me that you're only giving us 45 to 50 minutes an episode on 7 episodes on the second season of The Last of Us. And if it's like that, you got to give us at least 3 seasons to complete this story, because this story is so vast. I mean, the story of The Last of Us 2 is so vast. It's even hard to put into words to explain it to someone who has never experienced the game. They're going to be missing so many important parts, because I doubt the show is going to insert all those parts that was in the game. Obviously, the show is going to insert the most important part and make the story easy to follow. But when you play the game, you get so many important details that are important to the story that I doubt that they'll be able to insert all of that into the show. I doubt it. I really do. But let me know, are you guys waiting for The Last of Us? Are you waiting for this highly anticipated season 2? Or are you one of the people that are kind of sad of Joe's demise and basically giving you big FU to the damn series? This is Black Shy Guy. And as always, make sure you hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. And also, if you're not a subscriber as of yet and you're watching the videos, consider subscribing. I guarantee you'll have fun. This is Black Shy Guy. As always, thank you for sitting at my table. I'm out of here. Peace.
Dunking and hitting jumpers, kept Marvin Rich with him. Leo Rose like, why you dump us? Saturday's deposit, chasing SunTrust. Word to Donald, they no one will ever choke us.